Hello, everybody. Welcome back to Just a Podcast. Alaina has returned once again, and just as always, we're just going to jump right into it.
Yes.
If you had the ability to produce some sort of magic, would you prefer a wand or the use of your hands?
Oh my God. Use of my hands, because that's something I can't lose.
Okay.
100%. I would want to be able to do that, and I would want my force, my will would be, I don't know. I kind of want it to be like mind bending and just being like, I don't know. That makes me sound like a bad person. But I'd be like, manipulation. Let me come in, security guard.
Yeah.
Whatever. Yeah. I think that would be my power.
Okay.
What would be your power? You gotta let me know, man.
I superpowers, going back in time would be my power, and you go to the pizza guy, enjoy your pizza, you too. Those
Yeah.
moments you go back in time and stop time, tell your past self, hey, don't say you too, just say thank you. And then go back
Yeah.
into the future.
Right.
Time would continue, the pizza guy would say, enjoy your pizza. Thank you. And then
Yes,
I would close
I
the
love
door
that.
because I've said that so many times.
Yeah.
Thanks for shopping at Fry's. You too. Oh,
Oh no,
oh
classic.
gosh, no. And then
Yeah.
you walk away and you're like, gosh dang it.
I
gotta
know.
kick this habit
How?
out the door. I
Listen,
can't open.
just listen.
Yeah.
Yeah. See, I would just mind bend them to be like, they said, have a nice day.
I said this.
And I was like, you
Mhm.
too. Yeah, one hundo.
Mhm.
I've always felt like that's always been like my superpower too. I feel like as you age or like different parts of your life, you're like, oh, I would talk to animals, or oh, I would fly. I'm always like, I would mind bend all the time, or Doctor Strange it, which is great. Yeah, just like using time. I love that. Yeah, that's freaking great.
Oh,
dude.
yeah.
Yeah.
Or the
yeah.
ability to eat foods that I can't eat anymore either because they're bad for my teeth,
Oh
they're
my
bad for my
God.
body.
That's too.
Just
That's
stop
so true.
that from happening and just eat
Yeah.
the food and then remove that ability so I could go back to eating healthy and stuff like that.
Just making a great superpower would be, making unhealthy food very healthy for you. That would be an amazing superpower. Yeah, I would love that. Yeah.
Oh yeah. Or teleportation.
Yeah.
Get a ticket to Disney World, just boom, you're right there.
Let's ask, go and break in
The studio audience.
our studio audience, sir. What would be your preferred magic power?
Flight.
Flight.
It's the ultimate.
Okay.
Right?
Just
I mean,
be-
you can go anywhere.
Oh.
Being invisible is just overrated because you gotta be completely. Oh, I gotta talk to
please.
Yeah,
Come in here, right here.
Right in the shot.
So being invisible just absolutely sucks, right? Because you got to be completely naked in order for that to work, right? So that's not cool.
Oh, yeah.
You're gonna be cold. It's gonna be miserable, and it's gonna be awkward and weird. So that's my opinion on the whole thing. Let you guys get back
sorry.
there.
Okay.
Cool, sorry. Thank you.
Oh man.
Thank you, studio audience.
Studio audience.
Yeah.
When Logan is here, he has his girlfriend Carly, and she's the studio audience, and she
Oh, cool.
enjoys it.
Oh, that's
She
great.
just loses it when we talk about bread.
Really?
It just loses
bread.
it. It's just, oh my gosh, they're talking about bread. They're so obsessed with it,
That's so funny. And now I have to ask you, Michael, have you ever considered doing ASMR?
ASMR. I've seen videos.
Why have you not done it? You have probably the most soothing voice of anyone I know.
Really?
Yes.
Would
Would you do that? I would totally do ASMR with you.
Hello
Hello.
everybody. Welcome back to Just a Podcast.
Today we're going to do an exclusive ASMR.
This is a microphone.
Thank you for joining us. Yeah, I don't know.
Yeah.
I just feel like that would be great.
Okay.
That's like your in-person superpower is just being an ASMR calming person?
I would just read Dr. Seuss books.
Oh my God, I would love that.
Sam, I am. I do not want green eggs and ham. Chance the voice, get all aggressive, and then come with Sam, and then the other guy.
How dynamic.
Yeah.
You should, I don't know, have you ever used Calm, the app?
Mm-mm.
I haven't either, but I always see advertisements on my Facebook that they have like story reading people, and now I feel like that you would be perfect for that.
Okay.
But ASMR is like where it's at, man. Dang. Why? I don't know. I don't know why, but it's freaking everything.
It's fun.
Yeah, it is fun. I would want to like have anybody who does ASMR. I would love to have somebody do like pump up ASMR. That's like, listen to me. Today you are going to win. Just like not be about. Have it be like the most calming amp up in the entire world.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, that's what I would want. Anybody, please do that.
Pop-Tart ASMR, they put it in the toaster and pop it up, and then they eat it.
I don't want eating.
Oh, okay.
That's
Oh,
gross.
right. No,
Maybe they
eating.
could like brush the Pop-Tart's hair. Kidding. Yeah.
The invention that would renovate the world, portable Pop-Tart toasters.
That would be
great.
That
would change the world.
That would literally change the world.
A ton.
I would absolutely like that.
In class, you just no outlet, just take it out and eat it.
I haven't had a Pop-Tart in so long, and the last time I had a Pop-Tart was literally last night. I think the time before that was like 3 or 4 years ago. I had a Pop-Tart, and it was so great, and it gave me the worst heartburn.
Ooh.
I know.
Yeah. You just wanted just one more time.
I was like,
stop it.
I know, and it was
what
like
are you
so
doing?
good. And I didn't even have the entire package. I literally split one Pop-Tart with my friend.
Okay.
Yeah, and it was like the best night ever. Can I tell you about the best night ever?
Yes.
Okay. I don't know.
Guys, just get ready.
Completely digress here. Story time. Me and my long-term boyfriend are finally looking for like a house.
Okay.
Right? #commit. And so we were like looking at properties. We were totally amped for it. On Saturday, we saw 3 properties. And the first property we went to was out in Mesa, really cute area. And me and my boyfriend are planning on having 2 cats.
Okay.
And so everywhere that we look is trying to be cat friendly. So we go into this really, really awesome property, perfect for animals, wood floors, all of that. I go back into the backyard, which is very spacious and has a really, really tall, just cement fence. And so I was like, okay, so we've let the cats out. They're not going to be able to climb out, which is great. We don't have to we don't have to install a catio.
A little thingy.
Yeah, for them to go without escaping. And as soon as I kind of say that, I notice that there's like an empty food and water dish. And I was like, oh, confirmed. They had animals out here. And then this completely starving cat shows up. And I was like, oh my God, just totally starved. My realtor was like, oh man, that cat could use some love. And I rescue all animals. I can't help it. I can't help it. So I freak out. This cat is so friendly, and it's sitting by the food and water dish, which is bone dry. And I take a second, and I'm like petting this cat, and I'm like, it's just so friendly. I check its front paws, and it was declawed. Dang it, people.
Oh my
Don't do that. And so, it hit me. No wonder this cat is starving. It can't even get any food for itself. So I go to my boyfriend, and I'm like, we have to do something. And he's like, we can't save every animal, Alaina. We can't. There's always going to be another animal to save. And I was, broken about it, but he was right. And he was like, I bet that the people who own this house have probably adopted that cat, and they're going to probably come back later and feed it and water it and beyond. He's just trying to soothe me. I'm like, okay, fine. So we leave that apartment. There's like another group of people seeing the house. So we had to leave, and I was like, let's at least try to get it water, right? But we had to leave. So we left and looked at 2 other properties that were great, but I was more focused about this cat. I was like, that's terrible. I can't believe that I left it. In my absolute 100% grieving, guilty manner, I had to vent it to my friend Margaret. So I call her up and I'm like, we need to go to Panera Bread. Could we be any more #cat person? I just want to emphasize right that. We are #cat people. So we go to Panera Bread.
Oh boy.
Yeah, and we sit down and and Margaret and I have a history of fostering cats, stray animals, period. Every single animal that I've ever had in my family has been a rescue. And so we were talking. Margaret owns one of the cats that we had fostered. She took him in, and he turned 7.
Okay.
Yeah, so he's happy and healthy. Just to give you some exposition on her. But we were sitting there, and I was telling her about my day, and she's been going through some hard times too. So we're both getting fired up. And then I finally tell her about this cat, and I'm like, there's just no justice in this world, right? Just awful. So she looks me square in the eye, and she goes, do you want to go get this cat? And I was like, yeah, I do.
Let's do it.
Duh, right?
Avengers
of
Initiative.
course. Yeah, exactly. I was like, yeah, we got to go get this cat because we're both fired up. And she was like, do you think we can wait until tomorrow? And I was like, no, because this cat's going to die. 2, it's going to have a whole bunch of real estate people going in and out of this house. And she was like, should we like contact the realtor? And I was like, no, we just have to break in and get this cat. Duh.
Yeah.
So she's like, okay, I'm totally down. Let's do this. So we get back into her car and we're heading back. Her brother just recently got a new Subaru, a beautiful dark blue, just everyday Subaru. I drive a distinct British racing green Mini Cooper with racing stripes and the British flags. Dream car, #yeet. But we can't take my car. If anyone sees it, they're going to be able to identify it. Yeah. And then my friend Margaret, her car, she has like a very light blue Chevy Sonic. I think there are like 2 in the state, something crazy like that. So I was like, okay, they could confuse her with one other person. But then Jack, with his new Subaru, has like navy blue Subaru. I'm like, that's going to be our escape car. So we go back. We loop in Jack. We're like, hey, man, you're joining us in this. And he's totally down.
Yeah.
He's like, faux shiz. Let's do this. So we get him all briefed in. And I told them behind the property is just blank land. Okay. Just vacant. It's not private property. We can just kind of go around the back, jump the fence, get the cat, get out. Totally down. Okay. This is when everything changes. So we get dressed in black, we get the ladder, we get the cat food, everything, right? So we're driving down. Everybody is amped as heck. And for one good call, I was like, we should just go around the block so you guys can see which house it is. And Jack is like, perfect, let's do that. We go around, and then we see the house was vacant from what my realtor said. So I figured somebody would come by and maybe maintain the house, but nobody was actually living there. And lo and behold, somebody was at the house.
Uh-oh.
And I was like, oh, no. And me being me, I'm like, well, the plan's foiled. Margaret being Margaret was like, hey, did this just get easier? Why don't we just knock on the door and see if that's their cat? And I was like, okay. So we go up and we put together our story, which isn't too far from the truth, but, you know, that we saw a stray cat and, you know, if it's, you know, you're a black cat, fine. But if it's not, we're going to take it because me and her both don't like the idea of black cats just being on the loose because we're not superstitious, but I don't trust people. So there's that. So we go to the door and it's like this older lady comes out. She looks a little rough, like she's seen some stuff. And we ask, and she's like, oh yeah, the black little skinny thing. Yeah, that's mine. And I was like, oh my God, I'm not leaving this cat with her. So we go in, we find out, she goes, yeah, this is my cat. Her name is Molly. She is 20 years old and she has been missing for a month. And I was like, okay, are you like happy to have her back? She did not say anything. And she was just like, yeah, I'm moving. Obviously, duh. I was at this showing like 6 hours ago. And she said that she wasn't going to be able to travel with this cat, that she was traveling back to Pennsylvania to be with her daughter. And whenever she sold the house, she was going to put Molly down. And I do not, she is allegedly, I can't believe that this cat is 20 years old. She is spry as heck. I don't see a 20-year-old cat certainly making it on its own being declawed for a month. So when we went back and saw that, yeah, that was the cat, no food and water had been replaced. And so Margaret, she's one of my most pragmatic friends, but she was like, I'll take your cat now. And I was like, oh,
well,
here it is. Here it is. We're overstepping a certain bound. And I was expecting this lady who will remain anonymous. She was like, no, you can just take it. I mean, that brings me great relief. So we took this cat.
Okay.
We took it.
Yeah.
That was it. That was it. We took this cat, and we left, and feeling so celebratory because this cat was going to be put down anyway. Take it home to Margaret's house, and this cat just is so friendly. It stays in Jack's room, and Jack has completely bonded with this cat. And I am so happy because Jack is the type of person who like really keeps to himself. And when I really sat down and thought about it, the really only pet companion I could imagine for him would be an ancient black cat named Molly. That's like literally the quintessential cat for him. So he took her in. She's well. Just want to say that she's like totally happy and being so amped that we got this cat and saved it. And I did a Snapchat, sent it to my boyfriend. He was like, "Oh my God, Alaina."
Whoa.
And then I told him,
I saved the day.
I get what I want. May it be noted. May it be said. Get what I want. Yeah. So bringing this full circle, that's when I was like, well, my friend Margaret was like, we need to celebrate. How about a Pop-Tart? And I was like,
yes.
Absolutely, Pop-Tart.
Let's
so we
go
had
get some Pop-Tarts.
Yeah. So she pulled out some Kroger Pop-Tarts. And I had one cherry Pop-Tart, and by the time I got home, I had the worst heartburn ever.
Oh
It was
God.
awful. I was like, God, what's wrong? And I was like, oh, wait, I must have been that Pop-Tart that I had after 8 p.m. Ugh. Yeah. I think that's one thing that I've really missed as I age too, is that I'm like not I can't be a night owl. We were up in New River filming this, and it was cold and awful, and I did not plan this out well. I got my hotel because it was just a low budget film, and I got my hotel to check in. I filmed, basically, I came down around 5 p.m. We went until 3 a.m., and then I made my check-in that day. I couldn't check in until 3 p.m. I can't check in until later. So it's like 3 a.m., and I'm just driving around, and then I was like, I've got to go to sleep.
Yeah.
I can't.
I gotta sleep.
Yeah, and then I made it to, like right around this area, and it was like 4 in the morning, and I was like, I'm not sleeping here. And so it began. I went closer into Tempe, and I made it right at, where did I end up sleeping? I ended up sleeping at the Target in Tempe Marketplace.
Okay.
So I went, So I went to sleep. Or you know what? I initially went to Tempe Palms, which is where I got my hotel room.
Okay.
Treat yourself. So I was sleeping there, and they tell you can't sleep there, but
They don't.
I
What
was
are you doing? Yeah.
And this is the best part. I had just been filming this horror movie, right? I'm covered in fake blood. I'm in dirt. I look awful. And I've got my suitcase in the back. I've got my blankets and everything. And there's like a groundskeeper, and he comes up, and he's leaf blowing. God, I cannot remember that. Help me. Senior moment. But he was doing that, and that woke me up. And he kind of like looked in, and I think I thought he was going to wake me up, but he was probably like, wow, she has seen some freaking crap.
Yeah.
So maybe she's just trying to get away. And that's when I went over to, I woke up, that by then it was like about 7, and then I went to Tempe Marketplace, and I like washed my face. And then I walked around Tempe Marketplace, and I called Tempe Palms, and like, no, you can't check in. It was literally the longest 24 hours of my life. Gosh. And then by like 3 p.m., I go and check in, and I was so relieved because I got a call, and they're like, hey, we're basically removing this scene, so you don't have to film tonight. And I was like, oh, thank God.
Thank you.
Yeah, I got room service, and I slept for like 8 hours, and was just like feeling so much better.
Oh, yeah.
Then the next day I filmed, and then we finished up, and I left, but I had to do like 2 more weekends of that, and it was the worst. I was so tired driving. Yeah. And New River, is really, really north, so it's more of like an hour and 45 to get to. I was living in Flagstaff at the time, so it just made more sense if I could like nut up and go down, at 5:30 or whenever, get there and film, and just drive back up at 4:30 maybe when we were done filming. Just made more sense instead of driving like 40 minutes into town or driving further into town. I would almost rather allocate that time to driving back up. Oh my God. Driving when you're tired.
Oh,
Yeah. I don't know how many questions you have. I'm sorry that I go
No, it's
way
okay.
off. I feel like I go on like friggin' tangents, man.
No,
Yeah,
no.
I know this started with superpowers and ended with driving tired.
It just.
Yeah. And taking cats and stuff like that. Yeah.
Man, I enjoy going to model homes. That's been something that I enjoy a lot.
Motorhomes?
Model homes.
Model homes.
Going in, you open the. Sometimes
Yes.
it's a tradition with me and my friend Adam. We'll go to the fridge and there'll be food there, and we'll just freak out. Oh my gosh, there's a burrito in here! Oh my gosh, there's guacamole!
Do you ever take it?
We take the drinks. I mean, I think there was one model house where there was cupcakes, and I was like, oh, but I think I was by myself. And I was like, oh, but sometimes we see stuff and like, oh,
Yeah.
oh,
My God.
I'm getting hungry.
Yeah. Oh my God, I love that. There is something that. So I believe in the law of attraction in the universe. I've had a few story times where I just like can't deny that there is something to be said about that. And one of the things that the law of attraction says is that you need to like live the life that you want and visualize that like you already have it. So there are like days where I just pretend to be rich. Okay. And this goes into like model homes too, where I just pretend that I'm like, you know, this would be great, but if only it had a marble foyer, you know? Do any of your model homes have that? Oh my God, it's so funny. There was one time where I went and I got my hair done. And I have one prized possession that I have. When I was really young, I got into designer bags. And I had this complete fixation on getting a Louis Vuitton bag.
Okay.
And then when you're young, there's like no way you can afford that, right? And I got a few gigs here and there, and I was working a really stable job. When I was 27, I was like, okay, I really, really just want something by Louis Vuitton.
I just need
it. I ended up getting a Louis Vuitton scarf.
Okay.
Finest silk and wool woven
In the
piece
world.
of fabric. It literally feels like butter. I feel so rich in that.
Oh my gosh.
So I go and get my hair done with that. And it's
Okay.
literally the most embarrassing thing because I get that and I ended up 1 year later getting a deal because somebody was selling everything in their closet. They were moving. It was a thing. And I ended up getting this vintage Louis Vuitton bag from the 80s, which I was totally fixated on.
Sweet.
Yeah, for like $100 or something. People were like, "Man, why would you do that?" And I was like, "This is literally the Speedy that I want." So I got that first. I went and got my hair done. This is so embarrassing. And when I went and got my hair done, it turned into a consultation, and then it turned into like doing my entire hair. And the woman ended up having a few complications. My hair is like seeing some range of color.
Okay.
So that ended up happening. She had to correct it. So I left with a pretty big, put it on my tab. Pretty big tab from the hairstylist.
Yeah.
My card declines. I am not rich.
Yeah.
I am not rich. It was so embarrassing. I was like, oh, just put it on my credit card. Just put it back on my other tab. Oh my God, it was so embarrassing. But yeah, every so often, that respect that just changes when you pretend to be rich just indicates so many flaws in our society. Can I just say that? It's just a completely different experience. But doesn't beat a good thrift store.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, and model homes. That's another thing me and my boyfriend have been looking at.
You're just so passionate about it. Look at the tile floor. Look at this floor, and then the realtor's just standing in the back.
I know.
Look at this floor. Oh my gosh,
God.
the kitchen island. They're just sitting there going.
It literally looks like a movie set.
Yeah, it's an island. And you're just like, no, look at the marble.
I know.
Oh my gosh, and you just freak out the master bedroom. You just lose it. You go in.
God.
Oh my gosh, walk in shower. You just go bananas.
Incredible.
Yeah.
It's incredible. Homes that people can live in. And I mean, like, I really haven't looked at real estate until maybe the last year. Really like looked into it, really looked at everything has always been like renting. And you know, it would be a similar situation. It's complicated how we're getting this house. It's complicated. It involves the mafia. It's a lot. Okay?
It's serious.
Yeah. Oh, whoa. Shouldn't have said that. Look out. Mafia. But yeah, there are like a few things that we have to consider when we're getting this place. And it's just made me think about how intricate and what a commitment it is to get a house. And I can see why people aren't doing it. Good grief. Which leads me to ask the question, what podcasts do you listen to?
I don't listen to, I haven't really listened to any podcasts, but, well,
I'm shocked.
I like, there's this YouTuber that I enjoy that I actually met earlier this year, Olin Rogers.
Oh.
He's in LA doing Final Space. It's a TBS show, but he started on YouTube, and he made this thing called, he made his show a long time ago, not a long time ago, but a lot years back, like a pilot type of thing, and for years he was trying to get it made, and now they're on season 2, I think, working on season 3.
Boy, that's the dream, isn't it?
Yeah, and I met him. He was doing like a horror comedy type of show. He tells stories, and he has a way of telling stories that are just hilarious and engaging, and just gotta watch the 10-minute video. You can't click away at 5:35. You gotta watch the whole thing. And I met him, and my heart was beating like crazy.
Oh my God. He's your hero.
Yeah, him and Cody Galloway, that's his friend. He was there, and he's walking through. I mean, the minute they walk through the venue, everyone's just
dying, of course.
Oh my gosh, just clapping, and he's walking through, going, hey to everybody, and then there was a meetup afterwards, so everyone's going through. I'm slowly making my way, and I have like a script in my head, like, don't mess up the script, don't mess up the script, don't mess up the script. But I also didn't want to take time for others, because I know there's a lot of people that he's an inspiration to, so I wanted to just keep it brief, because I know there's other people behind. I didn't want to take time away from them, because the venue closes at a certain time. I didn't want to be responsible for someone else not having time to talk to Olin, so I was like, just keep it short. So I finally come up to him, and he's just very natural. And it comes up, he gives me a handshake.
Oh my God, you like touched his flesh. Oh my God.
Was just insane. I had to like keep my cool. He was like, hey man, how's it going? And then his wife took my phone to take the photo. He took the photo, and then after the photo, I turned to him and I said, I just want to say that you've been an inspiration to me as a film student, and you've helped me want to keep going, pushing towards my goals. And he was like, thank you so much. That means a lot. And as I was walking away, he said, persistency. That's the key, persistency. And it stuck with me when I went into my car.
Incredible.
And I was like, okay, persistency.
Wow.
But I was so
what a profound moment.
I'm so scared.
Yeah. Oh my God, that's so incredible. I also had a recent run-in. Also, I want to remind me, I want to talk about your film career.
Okay.
At one point, but first, another story. So I have been, my mom and my dad have been fitness enthusiasts. I know we kind of talked about this before the podcast. But I have been in and out of, I've been spending most of my life working out, which may be bad. I don't know. Hashtag diet culture, question mark. Yeah, I mean, I got some Michelle Obamas. Don't want to brag. I got some Michelle Obamas. They're hiding right now, but they'll be coming out. They always find a way out. Yeah. But I ended up getting into Beachbody. So Insanity and P90X. Do you remember when that was a thing? I don't know. You might have been a little bit too young for that. But that was something that came out, and it was really controversial because a lot of people were getting hurt. It was just a very intense program. So me being me, I was like, challenge. Challenge accepted. And a friend of mine had Insanity, and she was like, okay, here you go. And I did Insanity, and it was incredible. It was a really, really empowering experience. It was a few years later that the same people who made that made Beachbody on Demand, which is just like Netflix for workouts. And I ended up investing in that when I met Autumn Calabrese.
Okay.
My girl, Autumn.
Okay.
Oh my God. The creator of 21 Day Fix, 21 Day Fix Extreme, 21 Day Fix Real Time, 21 Day Fix Real Time, and 80 Day Obsession, a little bit obsessed, and a little bit more obsessed.
Yeah.
Oh my God. So I have done all of her workout programs, and I was following her on Instagram. Duh. This is just gonna be so creepy. There's no way to not be creepy about this.
Oh, yeah.
And it was a few months ago, she started to she got an account on Poshmark. And for those that don't know what Poshmark is that it's a platform where people can sell items in their closet. And this can vary from anything from designer names to everyday clothes. It's just plug for Posh. Hashtag Posh. Poshmark. Posh check me.
Posh check.
But anyway, she said that she was doing an ad for Poshmark, and I flip out. I'm like, okay, great. So I go and look at her Poshmark, and she is selling pants that she wore on 80 Day Obsession for $85. And these are not. I can't remember the brand of the pants even. It was like Elizabeth Arden or something like that. From what I did the research on is that they're pretty middle grade activewear. I easily could have found the color essentially and just bought. No, I had to get Autumn's Autumn's workout pants. Ugh. So weird, right? But she had shoes that I couldn't fit.
Okay.
That her feet were of normal size, as mine are not. And so I ordered her freaking pants. Okay. Give it a few days. They come in the mail. She's 5'4", I'm 5'2". I'm maybe not the most athletic of people, but I figure maybe I could wear these pants, right? And so these pants come in the mail, and she has signed a card. Egad, I go bananas. I was so excited. And it was like this generic. I was like, hey, thanks for shopping my closet. I hope you enjoy your purchase. Best Autumn Calabrese. And I was like, oh my God, holy crap. And then I get the pants, and for one, they smell like lemons. They're just so fresh and beautiful. I died. And then I hold them up. They are like for a 12-year-old. They are literally the smallest workout pants I think I've ever seen. They like beat the Target pants at Target's children's section. They're literally the smallest pants I've ever seen. However, every time I work out, I just lay out those pants. And talk about persistency is key. Whenever I work out and I feel like I can't, I just very creepily lay out those pants, put up her little card, and all I can think of Autumn
I could do this.
Is just channel her being like, thanks for shopping my closet. You can do it.
Yeah. Oh my
Get it done. Yeah. So I'm doing 21 Day Fix Extreme Real Time. In case you find this, Autumn.
It's real.
Yeah, it's great. Did you get an autograph from your idol before you
No,
left? Did you
I
sign anything
didn't want, not like in a bad way. It was just meeting him that just mattered to me.
You?
I didn't want the autograph. I just wanted just to say what I wanted to say.
That
was
moment.
Really all that I wanted.
Yeah.
I mean, when he gave me the handshake, that was like
incredible.
a double, thing. I was like, whoa. I mean, I don't know why I didn't expect him to go, hey, how's it going? But when he did, it was a firm handshake.
Oh, wow.
And when you were talking to him, eye contact, he was
so engaging.
So engaged to what I was saying, even though there's a ton of other people he's got to talk to and a ton of other photos he's got to take. And just looking at me and engaged, I was like, oh my gosh, it's all the Rogers. Oh, dude, this is insane. I'm meeting him.